It's finally time to play. So excited. We got some tips and tricks to expand that pentatonic scale so you have everything you need to start soloing. So today we're also going to talk about picks. So, and how are those exercises? How are those coming? Hope they're going really well. For now, let's rock. So come on in here. Ready? Let's rock. Let's rock. Let's rock today. Let's go. Welcome to the 5th week of the lead guitar track. We've got a ton again to cover. So glad you came back, but let's move right into it. So to this point, you have everything you need to start playing, and it's time. It's been long enough. It's time for us to play. We're not afraid. We're just gonna go and do it.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No, try not. Do or do not. There is no try.
Okay, so the tools that you already know, you have these. The first exercise, if you remember, we learned the major scale. So if you remember that one, do you remember that? So that was your major scale, and then you also have the pentatonic scale. So you've got everything you need to start playing. All you need now is a band. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give that to you. You can download below a track that I'm providing. It's just something I threw together. And I'd love for you to take that and practice and try and just see what you can come up with. And I might post something too. Just get yourself doing some lead playing so you can post it on YouTube or just post the audio file somehow. And let's start to share. So that should be awesome. So go ahead and grab that. We're gonna give you some more tools by the end of this lesson here so that you can do that a little more easily. So first, how you know where to do that is I'll tell you it's a major song. So you need to find the scale and remember, find the key. How we do that with the A string, just go ahead and I honestly don't remember what key it's in, so I'll have to do this too. So you find, and let's just say, okay, sounds to me like it's on the 3rd string, so that's C. And then what pentatonic scale do we use? Well, for major, we go 2 frets up, and that's, so there's the C major scale, and here's where the pentatonic scale would be. So the 3rd fret on the A string, and then 2 frets up, that's where the scale would be, okay? So that's how you find what scale to use when you're playing it, and then use those two, the pentatonic scale and the major scale, and just start trying and playing and see what comes out. I think it'll be awesome. So go for it. Do it. Okay, so for gear, I want to talk about picks. So when I was starting out, I had this massive giant triangle pick that was like really heavy. I don't know what the deal was or why I thought it was cool, but I just felt it was really awesome to have like a tree trunk in my hand and bang away on my guitar. So over time, you know, I've changed and I've used a smaller pick now. I went to a really thin nylon pick. This one here is a Jim Dunlop 0.73 millimeter. I really like these really thin picks. These tend to last, the nylon ones, a little better than a lot of the picks that I've used. So I recommend grabbing those. A little more expensive than some picks, but really great. So how you would hold these, what I do is, here we'll do it this way to help, is if you hold your pick horizontally and you put your thumb vertically, so just a little bit of the tip is down below, and then you kind of hold it like a pencil that way. And we're going to do some techniques later on where you pinch your pick, and that makes less of the tip exposed for some sound things that we want to do with our sound. So for now, just a little bit showing. Hold it just like that, and that'll help you. So grab a good pick, hold it correctly, and we'll get our technique down and move forward. So yeah, go get the Jim Dunlop nylon picks, and I think you'll be pretty happy. All right. So now you've got your picks, you've got the notes that you need, and let's talk a little bit, because if I just sat there and went through and you've got a song going, it might be a little boring. So what you want to do is be able to make it come to life a little more. So there's some things. The first thing we'll talk about is called vibrato. And that's what it is. And what vibrato is it's actually just bending the string, adding some tension, and that changes the pitch up and down slightly as you go. So all you need to do is rock your finger on a note, back and forth. Don't do too much, it can get a little out of control. But vibrato, so that's bending a note, And so let's talk about bending a note. The next thing we want to do is do a pitch bend. And there are a couple ways to do that. The first one is to bend your pitch up. So what we want to do when we do this is take a note in the scale and bend it up to another note that's already in the scale to match that. So here in this one, that's pitch, or the root of the scale. So that's 1, here's 2, here's 3. So I'm going to take the second one and bend it up to the third note. So I took that and bend it up to match that one. So that's bending up. So you can do that in a couple different places. However, so bending a pitch up, okay? You can even do that called bend to match. Play those so at the same time, which is cool. That's a cool thing to do. So if you're on the with your third finger on the G string and you've got your pointer finger on the B string, you can bend those and play them in unison. That's kind of cool. So the next thing, you've got a pitch bend up. Now it's down. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to start with the string bent to match the higher one and let it come down. So it's going to start on that pitch and end on the second one, okay? So that's a pitch bend down. We've got a pitch bend up and a pitch bend back down. Next technique is called a pull off. And what that is over here. Look at my hand. My pointer finger is going to be stuck here on the 5th fret on my E string, and then my pinky finger is going to play the 8th fret. Remember, you know your pentatonic, so that's right in the scale. And it's going to pull and use kind of the flesh of my pinky there to re-pluck the string. So I'm only going to pluck once. That's my pluck. And then I'm going to pull off. So I kind of made it noisy by pulling my hand away just to show you I only hit once, and then I pull off. So that kind of plucks the string for my pointer finger. I'm going to do it down on the B string now. And then down if I wanted to do it on the G string. So that's pulling off. And the next one is a hammer on, which is really the inverse. So I'm going to start with my pointer finger on that 5th fret and make my pinky finger hit the string on the 8th fret to make that next note sound. And you can do that all the way up and down the pentatonic. Okay? So that's bend up, pitch bend down, pull off, hammer on, and then you've got your vibrato. Okay, so a bunch of things you can use, and I'll show you a few exercises real quickly. This first one is to feature the bend up. So we'll start on the 7th fret on your G string, and we're going to bend from that one to that note, the 3rd note in the scale. So there's the 2nd, so it's going to go like this. You bend up, and what you do to bend, support with your other 2 fingers, and we'll bend with our ring finger. Okay, and then stop the note, and we'll play that 5th fret on the B string, and then we're going to actually do a pull off here from the 5th to the 7th, and then on the D string hit the 7th. So you'll see the tab below on this, but it goes like this. One more time. Okay, now this next one we'll do a bend down. So we'll start on the same note, bent up already to the 3rd note in the scale. Okay, and then we stop and then go down to the D string on the 5th and 7th. And that's going to be a hammer on, so you'll go 5, 7, and those are not hammer on, just pluck, pluck, then pluck, and then here's the hammer on, and then pluck the last string. So here's how that goes. Okay, one more time. Okay, now our pull-off, here's what we'll do. We're going to do what we did before. We're on the 5th fret and the 8th fret on the high E string, the 1st string, and I want you to go 3 times, 8 to 5. Then go down to the B string and do the same thing just once. Okay, now I want to do all 4 of those note groupings 3 times. Okay, so we want to get it as clean as possible as we're going, so we're not just getting a mess of, we don't want a ton of stuff, just. Okay, So that one, and then the last exercise will go the inverse with the hammer on. So it'll start on the B string on the 5th fret and go 3 times, and then up to the E string 1 time. So, and then end on the 5th string on the E string. So here's how that all goes together. Okay, one more time. Okay, so there's your exercises. You've got a link below to download your song so you can get rocking, record yourself, post it and share, comment, follow me on Twitter, share with your friends, and let's do this. Let's get rocking. We'll see you next week where we talk about what to do as a lead player when you're not actually playing a solo. So looking forward to seeing you again next week. We'll see you then.